What is up, YouTube? I'm Apocalyptic P, and we're back today with another toy haul. And this one's a little special. I recently went over and found my old box of old wrestling figures, basically back from the Attitude Era when I was younger, and collecting more back then, back with the NWO, Stone Cold, and all that. I found a big box of still, on card figures. We're going to take a look through that big box. Most of those, or all those, basically are the Jakks Pacific brand ones. A lot of different stuff in there, so we'll take a peek in that box. But first off, I did pick up two newer figures here. We're just going to take a quick look at. Starting off with the top package here from Target. And it is the big guy himself, the Diesel. This is from the Hall of Fame series line, which I believe this is the last series for that Hall of Fame. They're going to switch it out with that new Hall of Champions line, is what I've been hearing. That new line hit stores just recently. Has a couple decent figures in there I want to pick up. But this here was the main one in the set that I did want. I know we looked at the Rowdy Piper recently. But this was one of the ones I wanted to find. Target I went to had one left there, so I definitely had to pick him up. He comes with the black Intercontinental title belt and a pair of shades there. So we'll take a better unboxing review of him later on sometime. So keep an eye out for that. Next up here is a little box from Amazon. And in here we have an Elite Triple H. So this is from his WrestleMania 31 attire. The box is all banged up. You know, I got this as a damaged box from Amazon. I mean, it was like $8, I think, or so. So real cheap, but I did want to get all of his Triple H's, special entrance gear and attire. I know we looked at a couple other ones here on the channel. I didn't have this one yet, so definitely figured for that price, couldn't pass up on it. This is his Terminator entrance gear there. So that's the Triple H from WrestleMania 31. Alright, so let's jump into this big box of Flashback figures. I've yet to go through the box, so I'm not quite sure what's all in there. I know a few things that should be. I'm excited to take a look at here, but first up here on the box, we have this. Looks like it's a from Hills, a department store up top there, but it is more of a statue. Undertaker, Heroes of Wrestling. You can see he's doing his pose in there. It says Ultimate Authentic Detailed Sculpting, individually numbered. So this was a limited edition run. There's Psycho Sid on the back, you can see, and the Undertaker were the two that looks like it was in the set. There's a little cutout card there with the Undertaker and his stats. So this is just like more of a statue that they must have made, limited collector's edition, like I said. So that's pretty neat there. All right, next up here we have the Outsiders. So this is from WCW Monday Nitro. These guys, I forget who made these figures. They were real big, bulky. They didn't have much movement to them. You can see the rest of the guys in the set there. But what they did was, I doubt these still do it, there's buttons on the side, and you press the buttons and they rattle. And that was their big feature. And basically just their arms would rotate up and down and legs would rotate a little bit. And that was it for articulation. So they weren't that great to use and really play with, but they were kind of bigger figures. I didn't quite care for them too much, but back then you didn't have much to choose from. Okay, it looks like the coloring on them kind of faded a little bit there. That's your Outsiders Hall and Nash. Alright, next up, here's one that I'm kind of excited I found. This is El Snow from SummerSlam 99. And this is actually the one that they actually pulled from shelves after it got released, and they talked about this figure on Raw, actually, saying how stores were pulling it because of the severed head it came with. A female lady's head that says "Help me" on it. He'd carry around. Actually came with the figure there. You can see, and I guess a lot of people, some parents and stuff, took some stink to that and made a big issue about it. So they ended up pulling it from shelves and coming out with a new one that just had a mannequin blank white like styrofoam looking head that it came with. So this actually came with the real female head there and the back of the box. You see some of the other figures and some of the other series there. So that's the else no. That's what I remember I had. I was happy I kept on card there. And next up here we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and WWF Bad Boys bone crunching action. And as you can see up here, price tag of $4.96. Right there, $4.96. So a little bit cheaper than what we're paying for, figures these days. But you can see detail, not the greatest there. I mean, kind of looks like Stone Cold, but back then you took what you could get, like I said. So figures have definitely come a big way since back in the day. This is even late '90s, so they had different figures back in the 80s and early '90s that were little small guys. So back then this was pretty big stuff. So Stone Cold. Oh, here's one. This is the one the small 3-inch figures that they had. Now Mattel's doing the retro line of these that they're coming out with a bunch of the figures. So this was one of the original sets. Alright, next up here's another one I'm kind of excited I found here in the box. This is the NWO Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman 2-pack. This is one from Dennis Rodman, former basketball player for the Bulls, Pistons. Came in over, did a couple shows for WCW. Actually did a match or two where he wrestled a little bit. He joined the NWO and Hogan. They fought DDP and Karl Malone. DDP and Karl Malone. I couldn't think of his name for a second. In a tag match. So that's a cool figure to have, I think, still on card. Hogan, Dennis Rodman, NWO. Alright, next up here we have a WCW figure. This is your Diamond Dallas Page with a double axe handle action there. You can see this one looks like it's still in a little better shape. The coloring is a lot better than some of the other ones I've found so far. You see you got the DDP on his pant leg there, if you can see. Here's the back with the rest of the wrestlers that were in the set. Sting, Kevin Nash, Giant, Raven. Button back here, so you hit that button and he'd pound against the plastic there for his double axe handle. So that's DDP from WCW. Moving on, we have a WWF Stomp figure, Ken Shamrock from the Warzone. So this looks like one that they're kind of doing like more of a fantasy thing. This came with a vest that had some grenades and a gun, so it was making him like a soldier. Look at that likeness on the face. I mean, man, tell me you don't see Ken Shamrock in that head sculpt there. But on the back, they had different wrestlers in this set there. You can see Brian Pillman, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Crush, Ahmed Johnson as a farmer, kind of weird, Undertaker. So this again was like a fantasy line of the figures. Similar to like the Monster line now, or the Zombies line, stuff like that, or the Create a Wrestler one that's out now. Moving on, we have just the basic WWF Superstar line, Mankind from Series 3. Not bad detail, for that Mankind, for the mask and the face sculpt there. That's pretty good. Series 3 on the back there, you can see what you got. So just the basic Mankind. Next up here, this one of the boxes is a little bit damaged. From the Smash and Slam wrestler set. This is the NWO Kevin Nash. It actually came with a second figure, as you can say, an accessory as a referee, as an accessory, which is pretty cool. Back then, price was $7.99, and you basically got two figures. Back of the box, you got the set there, and actually the Giant came with like a little Rey Mysterio Jr. figure too. So not too many figures these days come with, you know, a 2-pack and have like a mini figure as an accessory. So that's pretty cool. They did that, and he has body slamming action. He throws him down there. So that's the Smash and Slam Kevin Nash with the referee figure. Alright folks, so we're going to cut the video here. It's going to be a two-parter. One long video is probably going to be too long because I got a bunch of stuff in the box here to go through. So this is the end of the first part of this half of this big unboxing. Hit that like button, folks. Please hit that subscribe button. And then stay tuned for part 2 for continuing looking back at some flashback figures here. We'll see you then.